My name is Moon Petrie, and I still feel like I'm taking forever on these revisions. That list adorably says September revisions list. And it is the 10th of October. So I have actually done a little bit of other revising. My oldest and my sister's only child are both high school seniors working on college applications, and they both so sweetly asked for my help with their essays. So that's been really, really fun and fresh and new and very, very exciting for both of them. Nerve-wracking too, I'm sure. But I need to get back to my project. And the thing I am going to do next is this. It is the backstory of one of my POV characters. And my intention is to have it sort of woven throughout so that you pick up on, the reader picks up on little tidbits and starts to piece together what must have happened and ends up by pretty late on chapter 36, 37 with a pretty good idea. And then when the whole thing comes out there close to the end, the reader will be thinking, oh yes, this is about what I expected, and yeah, I thought it would be something like this. And then there's a little bit of a perspective shift that makes it not quite what the reader is expecting. So it's not like a huge sudden reveal, but it's like, oh, it's actually like this. So I'm working on trying to make sure that that's not peppered through too heavily. I don't want to be heavy-handed. I don't want to be too obvious. I want the pieces to just sort of gradually accumulate. So what I need to do is basically read the whole thing. Since it is dual POV, I basically have to read half of the chapters. The other POV character doesn't really know, doesn't understand what happened, doesn't really care, is not fantastic at taking other people's experiences and points of view into account. He's pretty stuck in his own experience, at least throughout a bunch of the book. So what I'm going to do is actually just pull all those pieces out into a separate document and make sure that they line up the way that I want them to, or tone them down if they need to be, or spread them out a little more or something, and just make sure that I am comfortable with the way it is spread throughout. So that is my next task, is open that document and read a lot of it. I did it. I actually pulled out all the bits that referenced Rose's backstory and put them into another document where I could analyze them more objectively, I thought. And it wasn't as bad as I had thought. And I actually had my teenager, who is my alpha reader, always first and most important reader, take a look at it as well. So I dealt with what needed to be dealt with. Actually, what needed the most work was the chapter at the end where it all comes out, which leaned toward the melodrama a little, which does not tend to be a trap I fall into, but it's a tiny bit cringy. So that all got cleaned up, and I am happy with it now. So now we get to do this. And the next thing I'm going to try to work on is right above it, where my other, fairly self-absorbed POV character does not even have a single thought about his wife until chapter 14. I want him to come off as a bit of a jerk, but maybe not to that degree. And now he remembers in chapter 7 that he has a wife. Good to remember that you have a wife on occasion. I might be a little biased, being that I am somebody's wife. I wouldn't want my husband to forget to think about me until chapter 14 of his story. So at any rate, I only have 3 things left on my checklist. But there are not that many days left. What, 9 days left in October? So I need to actually just do them. Just get them done. Because I should really be working on Preptober. This is everything that I have. And that one little paragraph, yeah, that's setting. That's all that I know about the setting. Yikes. Please excuse the rainbows from my cut glass door. One thing I do like to do is make sure I have a list of names that is alphabetical, so that I don't end up with too many characters whose name begins with the same letter. So I am going to keep working on my revisions and on my prep and see what I can get done in the next 9 days. Until next time, I'm Moon Petrie, and good luck with Preptober.